Kia ora koutou, everybody. My name is Rafael Gonzalez-Montero. I'm the Chief Executive of the Parliamentary Service, and we are here for some Q&As on the Electoral Commission, and we're going to attempt to answer, well, not me, Anusha is going to attempt to answer the questions that you have submitted through our social media channels, and we've got quite a few of those, so thank you for doing that. Just before we start the interview, as I said, I work for the Parliamentary Service, and for those of you that don't know, the Parliamentary Service is one of the two agencies that support Parliament. They are the Parliamentary Service and the Office of the Clerk. So for us in the Parliamentary Service, we are kind of the back office of Parliament. We provide members with a lot of support on different things, like we hire the staff, we help them with finances, with HR issues, or with HR questions. We also maintain the buildings and we provide their IST. So we've got a variety of work, and our colleagues in the Office of the Clerk, they support Parliament by supporting the procedural aspect of it. So the things that you see in the debating chamber or the select committees, all those things, they provide a lot of support. And of course, the Hansard, if you ever have the chance to click on it and read it, in Parliament TV and Parliament on Demand. So that's a very quick intro to what we do, but there's a lot more information on the website if you want to find out what each of the agencies do. But today is a very exciting day. We are 12 days from the election, which is going to be on the 14th of October, and it's fantastic. So I want to introduce Anusha Guler, who is the Deputy Chief Executive Operations at the Electoral Commission. Kia ora, Anusha, thank you for joining us. So do you want to do a small intro about what you do?
Yeah, sure. Kia ora, everyone. Ko Anusha Guler ahau. I am with the Electoral Commission, and the Electoral Commission actually delivers the largest event in the country, which is the general election. And our role is to ensure you are enrolled to vote in the right electorate. We engage youth in our civic participation, and we make sure that people are aware of the election. So we run communications and campaigns out there so that we make election information available to you. I guess our core role at the end of the day is to ensure that New Zealand is a well-functioning democracy.
It is, and you do all this fantastic work, and you do this huge event, which is the election, and then everything is sorted out, and then you deliver it to us. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So, Anusha, let us start with a big question. What is the MMP system and how does it work?
The MMP is a system used to decide on New Zealand's government structure. It's called the mixed member proportional. Generally, if you go to vote, you have two votes. You have your party vote, which is the political party you choose that you align with, and then you have the electorate vote. That is the area you live in and who you want in your area to represent you in Parliament. And generally, a party has to have 5% or more, or get an electorate seat to be able to be in Parliament. And with the way the MMP works, generally, you have to have a coalition or an agreement between parties so that you have sufficient numbers to be able to govern. And the party with the most amount of votes would have the most amount of seats in Parliament, and if they partner with another party, then that becomes the government of the day.
Right. So when you see things in the media, they talk about the magic number. What is the magic number?
I think the magic number needs to be about 61%.
Right.
But that is your domain in terms of how you distribute the parties in Parliament.
Yeah, so it's 120 MPs, so to have a majority, they need a majority of 60 plus 1, so that would be 61-59. Very, very interesting. We've got another question that a lot of people have asked and they would like to know. When are the election results announced on election day?
So election actually starts today, Monday the 2nd of October, and on Saturday the 14th of October, we count all the votes we've received from the advance voting period and on election day, and these are the ordinary votes. So from 7 p.m. onwards, we'd be releasing the results as the results come in. And we've also got, you will receive live coverage on various media channels as well. And we aim to produce 95% of the results by 11:30 on election night.
Wow, that is very quick. Take me through what happens on the day when you've had the election, you are counting the votes. What does it look like in your place?
I must admit that it can be quite intimidating for some people because parties also appoint scrutineers who will actually observe the counting, and it's in a restricted area, so nobody can enter. There's strict security, no mobile phones, nobody's allowed to take any photographs. So the counting is, we have it as, it's in a zone that's called Zone 4, which means it's restricted from any public.
Right. Wow, that's, it sounds pretty intense.
It is very intense, and there's a lot of heightened activity, and I guess the goal is to get the right figures in so that we can produce it for the election results.
Yeah, wow. Can I go to Zone 4? No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Sorry,
Neither can
okay.
I, actually.
Okay. So there's a lot of other questions from our social media. So let's start with the first one. This is from one of our followers. Why does my vote matter?
For me, elections is a chance for you to have your say, and it's critical that your vote goes towards deciding how you want your community and your country to be governed.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true. So, who is eligible to vote in the New Zealand election?
Anyone who's 18 years and over, you are a New Zealand citizen or a permanent resident who's been in New Zealand for 12 months at a time.
Right.
So I think even if you are a New Zealand citizen living abroad, you are eligible to vote and do overseas voting.
Okay. What is the difference between the general roll and the Maori roll?
If you are enrolled in the general roll, you could vote for a candidate in the general electorate. And if you are on the Maori roll, you are voting for the candidate in the Maori electorate. We have 7 Maori electorates, but the important thing to note here is that you still have your party vote regardless of whether you're voting in a general electorate or a Maori electorate. Okay. Your party vote, all of you will vote for the same party.
Right. Thank you. We talked about how votes are counted. How do I find voting places?
We've actually got all our information on vote.nz.
Yes.
We have an interactive map. You can enter your street address and it'll bring up all the voting places that are around that address.
Yeah, I did that the other day to find my voting booth, and it was very, very easy to use. So good on you. You've set up a very good website there.
Thank you.
That's okay.
We also have votings in supermarkets, malls, maraes, temples. So it's where people actually do their day-to-day business.
Good idea. Excellent. Will people know who I voted for, including the Electoral Commission staff?
Absolutely not. No one. Your ballot is a secret ballot. It goes straight into the box. And even Electoral Commission staff will not be able to open that box until we get to the counting stage. So your vote is secure, and after we've counted the votes, we keep the votes for 6 months and then it's destroyed. So nobody knows how you voted.
Okay, that's good to hear. What happens with the information I give when I go on the electoral roll?
We use that information to confirm that you are enrolled in the right electorate. We have your details correct if we need to send you any communication. And we generally produce an electoral roll for voting places, and that has your name, your address, and your occupation. Your private details, such as your emails, your mobile phones, is not given out in public enrollment details.
So it's pretty safe to provide that information.
Yes, absolutely. We do provide that information also for local government elections.
Right.
So that they use the same data to conduct local body elections.
So what happens, because a lot of us receive the information in the mail to remind us and to check our details if we are enrolled to vote. What happens when kind of the dog eats the envelope and you don't have it, and then, so does it mean you can't vote?
Absolutely not. You can still turn up at a voting place. We will have your details on the roll.
Right.
They will search for your name and address. But if not, you can enroll and vote on the same day.
That's fantastic. So if you haven't, if you forgot about it or the dog ate it, you can just go into a booth and you can enroll there and vote straight away.
Yes. Or if you already enrolled, they will find your name on the roll.
Great. So people talk about electorates and the party list and the party vote, but what are electorates?
Electorates is what the Commission uses to create an area where somebody could stand to represent that area, and that's called an electorate. And you would find that you might get a member of parliament who comes because he's the highest polling candidate in that electorate. And we generally review these electorates every 5 years.
Right.
But this year it's the same electorate as we used in the general election 2020.
So is that what you call electoral boundaries?
Yes.
Oh, okay, and so there's no changes from
There's
the
no
previous one
changes.
to this one. Okay, that's very interesting. So after the election, how is the government then formed?
So we would count the preliminary results on the Saturday, the 14th of October. And then after that, we actually count the official results. And we have to release the official results on the 3rd of November.
Right.
And after that, 6 months after that, the government has to be formed. 6 weeks after that, the government needs to be formed. So by 21st December, the government will need to be formed, and we would have the 54th Parliament for New Zealand.
Right. And that's when we take over.
That's when you take over.
Yeah, so we then organize the induction for new members, and we also organize the opening of Parliament, and you will be, it's a lot of activity here, trying to allocate spaces to members, so that's very interesting. Maybe you can invite me to your Electoral Commission and I can talk about what happens then.
Absolutely.
There
That'll
you
be
go.
great.
There you go. Look, I don't know if there, I don't think there's any other questions, but is there anything you would like to say in closing?
Oh, I'd just like to encourage all New Zealanders to get out there and have your say and vote. Yes,
I agree with that sentiment. We hope you have enjoyed this session, and thank you very much for joining our live stream. I've really enjoyed it, and it's been very informative, Anusha. And so, yeah, in 12 days' time, go there, have your say, vote. Even if you haven't enrolled, remember, you can still go to a booth and you can enroll there and you can vote. And for other information, what website should they go to?
Vote.nz.
Vote.nz. I've been there. It's a very, very good website, and you will find all the information that you need. So thanks again, Anusha, and thanks all of you for turning up. Ka kite.